Welcome to Esslingen, 14 kilometres southeast of Stuttgart, home to 100,000 people. Well connected by public transport and an excellent road network, it's renowned for innovation, livability, and a cultural history spanning 3 millennia. The area was settled by the Urnfield culture of the late Bronze Age. Urnfield refers to the tradition of cremating the dead and placing their ashes in urns, which were buried in fields. Moving forward a century, the Romans had a warehouse at Oberesslingen. The nearest Roman settlements were Cannstatt and Köngen. Esslingen today was heavily shaped by what came next. During the Middle Ages, cities were protected by boundary walls. They grew out to meet them, then up, increasing their density. The wealthy tended to live on the lower levels of multi-storey dwellings, where access was easiest. Mixed-use buildings were also common, with shops located on the ground floor, which is still the case in the inner city today. Certain trades tended to congregate, as evidenced by 21st century street names such as Bäckerstraße, Schmiedgasse, and Weberstraße, or Baker, Blacksmith, and Weaver streets. There's also a Weinstraße, unsurprisingly for a city known for its vineyards. The first reference to them is in 778, their terraces laid out in the early 1200s. Over 800 years later, winemaking remains an important part of the region's economy. Kessler Sekt is renowned as Germany's oldest sparkling wine. The 11th and 12th centuries saw a physical expansion of the city. Germany's first vaulted Dominican church, St. Paul's, the Outer Pliensau Bridge, and the expansion of the city's fortifications. Esslingen Castle is first mentioned in documents from 1314. Today, it's a popular tourist attraction, hosting open-air cinemas and concerts. The market square was developed around the same time as the castle. It still hosts weekly produce and Christmas markets. Not far from the square are the oldest connected row of half-timbered houses in Germany, built between 1328 and 31. The Middle Ages drew to a dramatic close with the Black Death. The plague led people to question God, and humanism became the dominant paradigm. During the Renaissance, the focus shifted from religious to civic buildings. Esslingen's Old Town Hall, constructed in 1423 as the municipal trade and tax house, is a good example of such a building. In 1586, it was redesigned in the Renaissance style, and in 1665, a Baroque-style council chamber was added. During the 1700s, battles raged locally, and Esslingen changed hands several times. In 1809, the city embraced the Industrial Revolution with the opening of its first 3 factories for cloth, gloves, and coating tin. By 1830, it was the most industrially developed city in Württemberg. 200 years later, the area is renowned for its innovation and industry. Residential, commercial, and industrial areas lie close together in Esslingen, their green city plans addressing air quality. While Haussmann was creating master plans for Paris and Serda was contemplating open space, ventilation, and light in Barcelona, Germany's Reinhard Baumeister was writing one of the first books on urban planning. Suburbs began to spring up around Esslingen, echoing Ebenezer Howard's Garden City. The Gartenstadt idea was popular in Germany. They built several such settlements, most famously Grunewald in Berlin. 1909, the same year the Chicago Plan was released, saw the opening of the Neckarhalde housing colony, a new garden community in Esslingen. A decade later, the German Association of Craftsmen were fostering the nation's modern architecture and industrial design, most famously through the Bauhaus movement. Corbusier was involved in an affordable housing project in Stuttgart. But when the National Socialists came to power, they viewed Bauhaus as a training ground for communists and closed the school. The city was largely spared during World War II. Post-war, new residential areas were developed to support significant population growth. In 2022, the climate-neutral precinct New West Town opened. The former freight yard contains apartments, offices, and commercial space. It's one of several urban renewal sites in the area. Esslingen is a vibrant, diverse city shaped by 3,000 years of settlement. The medieval and Renaissance buildings, old streets, and bridges are a tourist attraction and help inform the residents' cultural identity. The Neckar Bridge helped the region become a trade hub from Italy to northern Germany. The original city wall necessitated a level of density that's noteworthy today, at around 2,000 people per square kilometre. The area embraced the Industrial Revolution in a way that continues today. The transport networks evolved from a series of walkable streets to a system where a range of transport modes create a city that's easy to traverse. The retention of the Altstadt Tower, vineyards, and the framing of the city by the river have created a vibrant, livable garden city. There's a plan for Esslingen to be carbon neutral by 2040. It includes a series of initiatives improving public transport, energy efficiency, green infrastructure, and a greener, pedestrian-friendly, community-focused marketplace.